Alright, welcome back to the chess project part 10. This tutorial we're going to extract this map, this normal map, and send it over to Maya. So the first thing you have to understand is right now if I hit page down and then page back up, I'm at over a 9 million polygon count. So there's no way I could bring this over to Maya at this high subdivision level. So that's why we create what's known as a texture map, so a normal map. So what we're going to do is we're going to page down to a certain level and to bring it in a base mesh. And I'm thinking I don't want to go all the way to the bottom, but I'm thinking one up from there. Now the problem is there's no UVs at this level. So if I hit bottom and I click on UVs, there's UVs, but the next level up there's not. But we can go to the UV menu here and go down to recreate level UVs, and that will recreate at this level. And so now you can see them there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this object and send it over to Maya first thing. So at this level. So again, I have it selected, and I can just go to File and send to Maya. And I already have Maya open, so I can hit Update Current Scene, and then send mesh at current level is what I want to do, not base mesh, but the current level. And then it'll pop in here, and you can see it's got a higher level of detail than the other mesh. So, and if you look, if I move it for a sec, you can see there's no longer a mesh underneath. Now I did add some filler teeth here, and they don't quite line up, but I did want to just bring in some teeth and kind of see what they would look like. So I have some there, but let's get to going with the extraction map here. You can kind of see where the teeth are if I just pull it out there for a sec. So we're going to go back to Mudbox. Yeah, I'm going to want to create an extraction map from this. The map will basically allow the detail to go over. So we're going to go to, let's see, we're going to go over to UV maps, go down to extraction maps, and we're going to choose new operation. And in here, we're going to click on normal map. That'll pop up here. And then in here, with this object selected, you can hit add selected to the low res. And we can change the level of detail. So I'm going to change to level 1 instead of level 0 by just clicking on it, since that's the new base mesh. And then we're going to choose add selection for the high level, and we want that to be the highest level, which is 5, which is a target of 9 million polygons. So we're going to go from 9 million to 35,000 polygons. Big difference than 8,000. So, and then subdivision is the method that's preferred in here. And so we're going to change the subdivision. And then we're going to choose a 2K map. And then if we go down here, a little bit further down, we want tangent space normals is great. Texture is a type of map. But click in here where it says the base file name. And I already did one, so I'm going to call it night normal. I'm just going to overwrite this one and hit save, and it will say, do you want to replace? I say yes. And then all I got to do is click extract. It says the target mesh is kind of low. I'm going to go ahead and click OK anyways. And it should still create a normal map once it's done here. And so now we can go over to Maya. So I'm going to switch over to Maya here. There you go. And with this mesh selected, we can add new material. So I'm going to go down to assign new material. I'm going to choose the Arnold shader AI standard surface. And then I can rename this. I can call this night material. And then in here, I could change the color, whatever color I want, if I want it to be a little bit darker gray or something. But I am going to go to scroll down here to the geometry tab, open that up, and this is where we're going to put in our bump map, our normal map. So you click on the bump map node, which is this little checker box, and when you click on that, it opens up the file node editor, and you click on, create node editor, and you're going to choose the file node, this one right here. It's the fourth one down. So I'm going to click on that, and then we're going to change it from bump to tangent space normals. That's really important here. And then in terms of the file, if you click on the file tab here, we can click on this little folder icon and choose that night normal map and click open. And then in order to see it in here in our scene, we have to turn on hardware texturing for the shading. So if you go down to shading, hardware texturing, now you can see we now have that normal map in here. Now, in terms of the rendering, sometimes the rendering looks a little strange. So there are a few options in here that you can change to make that better. So let's go to the bump map mode again by clicking this little icon. And the one is changing the color space to from SGC to, where is it here, raw. Yeah, just change that to raw. We'll do it, and you get this idea of now the bump map, the normal map that's on there. So you can see it looks pretty good. It has few errors here with the black showing through in those areas, but overall you get that feeling of the texture. So I could manipulate that texture map in Photoshop and kind of correct it. Some of these are a little bit errors here, the little black spots. So what's happening is basically, and I think that's from the sculpting, basically I press too hard and overlap too much of the mesh. This happens occasionally with normal maps. So I'd have to go in and just soften up the original mesh. But it looks good. It looks like, except for that little error, there are a lot of the density of the texture showing up, and we kind of get the idea of the mesh here. So let me hit, let's see, number 4 here, or actually let me hit 5 and just hide this temporarily. So I'm going to hit H, and I'm just going to select these teeth here. So I just want to see what this looks like. I'm going to hold the Shift key and select these, and I'm going to group these. And then I'll select these, and I'll group these. So now I have 2 different groups here. So now I'm going to hit Shift H to bring back my my horse, which is this poly mesh, I think. There we go. And then I'm going to click on one tooth and then hit the up arrow to select the group. And then I'm going to center the pivot on that group and kind of pull them forward. And then I can rotate them and kind of see what it looks like here. So just got to do a little finessing. And the mouth's not quite as open as what I imagined. So the other 2 teeth are inside here. Here they are. So I got that one selected now. Now I can hit the up arrow, select the group, and then hit W. And then I have to center the pivot to move it. And then hit number 5. And then bring them out. There. And it looks like these need to come down more maybe. And then just rotate them. And so I would duplicate these teeth ultimately on each side, and then maybe a few on the front. But now it looks like he's got some teeth there, little night guy. And then I can mirror the eyeball on the other side. I'll kind of show you how to do that. It's actually quite easy. Go to the top view here. And the main thing you want to do is just make sure your object is centered, which it is. And so if we group this eye here after we duplicate it, so we're going to hit Control D to duplicate the eye, then Control G to group it. Now it's in the group. Then we can go in the channel box here and scale it in the X, because this is the X axis here. So if we type in -1 and hit enter, whoops, click in there again, -1 and hit enter, our eye will be on the other side as a mirrored image. So that's the easy way to kind of flip the object on another side. Again, just hitting Control D first, then Control G to group, then scale in the negative value of whatever axis you're working on, which in my case was the X axis. So now I've got eyes on both sides, and it looks like he's looking okay. I just got to move the teeth over, and then we're good to go. So yeah, everything's looking pretty good. Basically, you can hit number 6 to show the texture map. And a render will actually look pretty decent. It should look okay. Let me click on the render settings here. See what I got from. I have a very low res render. Let's just do a quick render here and see what this would look like. I'm going to pause while I do this real quick. Alright, this concludes the tutorial series of the chess pieces. We finished up the final knight here. Here's a render of it, basically with its normal map on there. So we did everything from the pawn to the rook to the bishop, the queen, the king, and the 2 different knight versions. We have the sort of more geometric knight and the more organic sculpted knight. I hope you enjoy this series. Hope you enjoy seeing your future chess pieces. Until next time, see you soon in Autodesk Maya. Cheers!